Hello, Lindsay. It's Friday, April 26th, and I'm going to talk to you about why I love sci-fi. For many, many years, I actually hid the fact that I liked sci-fi because there's a connotation behind liking sci-fi. Whenever I would express interest in, something that was sci-fi related or whatever, the immediate response that I would get would be, wow, what a nerd. Being nerdy just means that you like to be smart about something. Which brings me to sci-fi. There's merit in all kinds of fiction, and there's lessons to be learned from all kinds of fiction. But what makes sci-fi so much different is that not only is it fiction, but it's fiction based off of the science of tomorrow. Sci-fi, more than any sort of subculture, puts stock in knowledge, albeit some of the knowledge may be a little skewed and exaggerated. I'm looking at you the day after tomorrow. But in our country specifically, we're taught that intelligence isn't valued, that if you're smart, that's somehow a bad thing. By having patience and wanting to learn something, you might find something really wonderful. Who's to say which type of fiction is better? You can have a knight in shining armor riding on a white valiant horse, saving a damsel, slaying a dragon with his mighty sword, or you can have somebody blowing shit up with lasers and flying a plane into space. The values are the same, the message is the same, it's just the execution is a little different. I love science fiction. I can walk in thinking one thing and then have it completely turned around for me. If we have the imagination that science fiction has for our society, imagine where we could be. I'm not saying that anything from sci-fi could or could not happen. Science fiction doesn't have to necessarily happen, but it just gives us hope for where we can progress as a human race. It teaches us to be curious. It teaches us to have an imagination. It makes us more open-minded about where our future could head. And that's what's so brilliant about it. It encourages us to create things. It encourages us to better our humanity. It allows us to think of ideas that are so extravagant, yet they feel like they're true, because they can be. But more than anything, science fiction teaches us to hope for the future. While we may progress technologically, things like love, courage, tenacity, family, truth are all still valued. But science fiction also teaches us that when you put power into the wrong hands, when you use technology for evil, that's when you lose your values. And that's all it's trying to teach us, is to maintain your value, that your humanity shouldn't change just because technology has. And it advises us to use it wisely, which is really good advice. I don't know if I've made any sense, but the fact of the matter is that I just love sci-fi. So I'll see you on Tuesday.